Okay, so imagine a world where any business, no matter how big or small, could have their own custom-built AI workforce.
It's a world that's closer than you might think.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking personalized customer service research that can dig deeper than ever before, maybe even deals closing while you sleep.
All thanks to a game changer that OpenAI just dropped.
I'm excited to dive into this one. So on March 11th, 2025, OpenAI launched a new suite of tools designed specifically for building these AI agents. And it's not just for the tech giants.
Right. This isn't just for like Google or Microsoft.
It seems like they really want to put this power in everyone's hands.
That's exactly what it looks like. Like they want anyone to be able to build their own AI army.
So let's break this down for our listeners. We're talking AI agents,
right?
Not just chatbots,
right?
But something way more powerful.
Yes, definitely.
What can these AI agents actually do that makes them stand out?
Okay, so think of it this way. If a chatbot is like Luke Skywalker learning the basics on Dagobah, an AI agent is Luke taking on the whole empire. It can independently tackle complex tasks using information and intelligence to execute actions.
So we're talking like responding to emails, doing in-depth research, maybe even controlling a computer to get things done.
Yeah, all of that.
Okay, controlling a computer, that's where it starts to sound a little HAL 9000 from 2001, A Space Odyssey.
Right.
Should we be worried?
Well, that's where OpenAI's approach is interesting.
Okay.
They're not just releasing this powerful tech into the wild without some thought. It seems like this launch is a direct response to developer feedback to make these tools easier to use and more accessible.
And OpenAI CEO Sam Altman has been predicting this kind of AI workforce shift for a while now.
He has. It's not really a surprise.
So it seems like they might have a plan for all of this.
They probably do.
So what exactly is in this game-changing toolbox that they've unveiled?
Well, the core of it is this new Responses API.
Okay.
It's basically the brain for your AI agent.
Interesting.
And it's going to replace that older Assistance API, which they're phasing out. Developers can use the new Responses API to give instructions and get complex tasks done. What used to take multiple steps can now be accomplished with one API call, so it really streamlines the whole development process.
And to be clear, this is available to any developer, not just the big tech companies.
Yeah, exactly. Anyone can use it.
Okay.
It's charged at their standard rates, so it should be accessible to businesses of all sizes.
And that's just the beginning, right?
Oh, yeah.
They've also included some built-in tools
right.
that give these AI agents some real power.
Yes, they do.
Okay, you've got my attention now. Tell me about these AI superpowers.
All right, well, first up, there's web search.
Okay.
So imagine an AI that can instantly access and understand the entire internet.
Wow.
That's what this tool does, and it's powered by two cutting-edge language models, GPT-4o and GPT-4o Mini.
Hold on, GPT-4, is that related to the GPT we've heard so much about?
Yeah, it is. GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer, and that's the tech behind a lot of these advances.
Okay.
GPT-4o and GPT-4o Mini are specifically designed for search, which means they can really understand the nuances of human language and find what you need with incredible accuracy.
So is this like no more sifting through pages of irrelevant search results?
Yeah, pretty much.
My AI agent can just go straight to what I need.
That's the idea. Although it's worth noting that even these advanced models aren't perfect. Sometimes they can hallucinate facts or provide unreliable sources.
I see.
OpenAI is very transparent about these limitations, though.
Okay.
And they're constantly working to improve accuracy.
So web search is kind of like having a super-powered research assistant.
Right.
What else can these AI agents use?
Okay, so next we have file search, and this one is huge for businesses.
Okay.
Imagine giving your AI access to all of your company data, letting it instantly find any files or information relevant to a task. It's like having a walking, talking encyclopedia of your business.
That sounds incredibly useful.
It is.
But also a little risky.
Yeah.
What about security? I mean, are we just letting AI run wild with all of our confidential information?
I mean, that's a valid concern, and OpenAI has addressed it directly. They've stated very clearly that they won't use any of your uploaded files to train their models.
Okay, good to know.
So it's really all about keeping your data safe and giving you control over how your AI agent uses it.
Okay, so we've got web search, we've got file search. Is there anything else in this AI arsenal that's really going to blow our minds?
There's one more, and this is the one that might have some people thinking about the Matrix.
Okay, lay it on me.
It's called Computer Using Agent, or CUA.
All right, CUA. What is it about this that has people thinking about Neo and Agent Smith?
Well, this tool allows AI agents to actually control a computer.
Quiet.
mimicking human actions like typing, clicking, and navigating.
So it's like having a digital assistant that can do things directly on your computer.
Right.
We're talking browsing the web, opening files, even using software programs.
Yeah, all of that. Imagine being able to automate those tedious data entry tasks or having your AI agent gather information from specific software.
It could even manage my overflowing email inbox.
Exactly. It can think about all the other possibilities.
Okay, it's definitely starting to feel like science fiction.
Yes!
It's exciting, but also a little unsettling.
I know what you mean. And OpenAI is emphasizing responsible development here.
Yeah.
They've built in a bunch of safety checks, and they're really encouraging human oversight, especially for something as powerful as the CUA.
Okay,
And they're very upfront about the fact that this is still under development.
so it's not quite ready to take over the world.
Not yet.
Good to know. But if it's not perfect,
Hmm.
what are some of the limitations right now?
Well, their research shows that CUA is particularly prone to errors when it's working outside of a web browser environment.
Okay.
So tasks that require interacting with a lot of different software programs are still a bit tricky. But the fact that it can even do this at all is a massive leap forward.
So it's not going to replace my IT guy just yet, but it could definitely handle some basic tasks.
Right.
Pretty impressive.
Definitely. And remember, this is just the first version of these tools.
That's true.
Who knows what they'll be capable of in just a couple of years?
Okay, so we've got the responses API, the brain of the operation, and these incredible built-in tools.
Right?
But how do you take all these pieces and build an AI agent?
Well, that's where the Agents SDK comes in.
Okay.
Think of it like the conductor of an orchestra.
Okay.
It helps you coordinate all the different parts of your AI agent, the tools, the workflow, the tasks you want it to perform.
So the NBSDK provides the framework, the instructions for building your AI agent.
Exactly. And it's actually based on OpenAI's earlier work with a project called Swarm.
Okay.
But they've made huge improvements
Uh-huh.
to make it more flexible and easier to use.
Interesting.
It really seems like they're trying to make this technology accessible to a much wider audience.
This is starting to sound a lot less theoretical and a lot more practical. Are there any companies out there that are using these tools to build real-world AI agents right now?
Oh, yeah. There are Coinbase, for example, used the Agents SDK to build something called Agent Kit. It allows AI agents to interact with cryptocurrency wallets and carry out transactions on the blockchain.
Okay.
And they were able to build this incredibly quickly in just a few hours.
Wow. So we're not just talking about some distant future here.
No, not at all.
Companies are already using these tools to do some pretty complicated things.
Yeah.
Are there any other examples?
Oh, yeah. There's another great one, Box the Cloud Storage Company.
Okay.
They've created agents that combine web search with their internal data to give businesses some really powerful insights.
So it's like having a research team
Right.
that can instantly analyze both public and private information,
Exactly.
find hidden connections and trends.
Yeah, it's pretty
The
amazing.
potential here is huge.
It really is.
But before we get too carried away with all the things AI agents can do,
Right.
let's take a minute to think critically about the bigger picture.
Absolutely. I agree. We have to.
Because just because we can build these things doesn't mean we should without careful consideration.
Yeah.
There are some important things to keep in mind, especially for businesses.
I agree.
What are the questions that companies need to be asking themselves before they just jump headfirst into this AI revolution?
Well, I think the first question is, what specific problem are you trying to solve?
Okay.
It's easy to get swept up in all the hype
Right.
and think that AI is this magic solution for everything.
Yeah.
But it's important to be strategic.
Okay.
What are your business goals, and how could these AI agents help you achieve those goals more effectively?
So don't just build an AI agent because you can't.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to have a purpose in mind.
You do.
And once you've figured out the problem you're trying to solve,
Right.
the next question is an AI agent really the best way to go?
Right. Sometimes there might be simpler, more cost-effective ways to get the same outcome.
Yeah, sometimes good old-fashioned human ingenuity
Right.
is still the best approach.
It can be.
And even if you do decide to build an AI agent, you have to think about those long-term implications.
Right.
Like, how will this technology impact your workforce?
Yeah.
Will it create new roles, or will it displace existing jobs?
That's a big one.
And if so, how will you manage that transition?
It's tough.
Like that old saying, measure twice, cut once.
Mhm.
But in this case, it's think twice, build once.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's not just about the tech itself. It's about understanding the bigger picture.
And the potential consequences.
Exactly. So we've covered a lot of ground here in part one. We've looked at the new tools that OpenAI has released, the incredible things these AI agents can do, and some of the key considerations for businesses before they go all in on this.
Right. A lot to think about.
Where do we go from here?
Well, in part 2, we're going to dive into some of the more futuristic possibilities of this technology.
Okay.
And we'll tackle some of those big ethical questions that come with giving so much power to AI.
Okay.
It's going to get even more interesting.
Can't wait. Listeners, be sure to tune in for part 2, where we'll take this deep dive even further.
You'll be fun. Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of AI agents.
So last time we got a glimpse of just how powerful these AI agents can be. And honestly, it's a bit mind-blowing. I mean, they can search the web, analyze data, even control computers. It feels like we're stepping into a whole new era of technology.
It really does feel like a turning point, and we've only just begun to explore the possibilities.
Right. And I think one of the biggest concerns people have is what this means for jobs.
Yeah.
If AI can do so much, will it eventually replace human workers altogether? I mean, nobody wants to end up like John Connor in Terminator 2, constantly on the run from hyper-intelligent machines.
Well, that's the Hollywood version, and while it makes for a great movie, the reality is probably going to be much more nuanced. It's not really a simple case of AI versus humans. It's more about how we adapt and leverage AI to enhance our own capabilities.
So instead of thinking of AI taking over our jobs, maybe it's more about AI changing the nature of work itself?
Exactly. Think about the printing press. It drastically changed the way information was produced and disseminated, but it didn't eliminate the need for writers or storytellers. In fact, it created new roles and opportunities, and I think the same thing could happen with AI.
So maybe instead of fearing job losses, we should be thinking about what new skills we need to develop to thrive in this AI-powered world.
Absolutely. There will always be a need for human ingenuity, creativity, critical thinking. Those uniquely human qualities are going to be even more valuable in the future.
I like that seeing AI as a tool to augment our abilities, not replace them. It's kind of like Iron Man in his suit. Tony Stark is brilliant on his own, but with the suit, he becomes a superhero.
That's a great analogy. And just like Tony Stark is constantly upgrading his suit, we need to be constantly learning and evolving to keep pace with this rapidly changing tech landscape.
Okay, so that's a more optimistic take on the whole job displacement issue. But what about some of the other potential downsides? We touched on this a little bit in part 1, but I think it's worth exploring further. What are some of the ethical considerations we need to be thinking about when it comes to AI agents?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is making sure that these AI agents are used responsibly and ethically. We need to be really mindful of potential biases, unintended consequences, and the need for transparency.
Right, we've already seen examples of AI systems that exhibit bias because of the data they were trained on. How do we make sure that doesn't happen with these AI agents? We don't want to create a world where AI is perpetuating existing inequalities or making decisions that negatively impact certain groups of people.
You're absolutely right, and I think it highlights the importance of having diverse perspectives in the development of AI. We need teams of people from different backgrounds with different experiences and viewpoints working together to make sure these AI agents are designed and deployed in a way that benefits everyone.
So it's not just about the technical aspects of building these AI agents. It's also about the ethical framework that guides their development and use.
Exactly. It's about asking those tough questions right from the start. What are the potential unintended consequences? How can we mitigate those risks? How do we make sure that these AI agents are aligned with our values as a society?
It's like in those Spider-Man movies. You know, when Uncle Ben tells Peter Parker, with great power comes great responsibility, we're talking about giving AI a lot of power here. And we need to be incredibly thoughtful about how we wield that power.
Absolutely. And I think that responsibility extends beyond just the developers and the companies building these AI agents. It's on all of us as users, as citizens, to be informed and engaged in this conversation.
So it's not just about sitting back and watching this technology unfold. We need to be actively involved in shaping the future of AI, making sure it's a future that benefits everyone.
I completely agree.
Okay, so we've talked about some of the potential downsides, but let's shift gears for a minute and really let our imaginations run wild. What are some of the most exciting, mind-blowing possibilities that these AI agents could unlock?
Well, one area where I think we'll see a huge impact is in personalized education. Imagine a world where every student has their own AI tutor available 24/7 to provide customized instruction, answer questions, and adapt to their individual learning style.
It would be like having a personal Mr. Miyagi from the Karate Kid, guiding you through every step of the learning process.
Yeah, actually. And it could totally transform the way we approach education, making it more accessible, engaging, and effective for everyone.
It would be amazing to see students who maybe struggled in the traditional classroom setting really thrive With the help of an AI tutor, it could level the playing field and unlock so much potential.
And it's not just about students. AI agents could also revolutionize professional development and lifelong learning. Imagine having an AI mentor who can help you identify your strengths, develop new skills, navigate your career path.
It's like having Yoda sitting on your shoulder, whispering words of wisdom and guidance as you make your way through the professional galaxy.
I love that. And it really speaks to the power of this technology. We're not just talking about automating tasks, we're talking about unlocking human potential in ways we never thought possible.
Okay, so personalized education. That's one mind-blowing possibility. What else is out there? What other areas of our lives could be radically transformed by these AI agents?
Another area with incredible potential is healthcare. Imagine a world where everyone has access to an AI-powered health assistant that can monitor their vital signs, provide personalized health advice, even detect early warning signs of disease.
It would be like having your own personal Dr. McCoy from Star Trek, constantly monitoring your health, keeping you in tip-top shape.
Exactly. And it could be a game changer, especially for people in underserved communities or rural areas with limited access to healthcare. AI agents could help bridge that gap and provide more equitable access to quality care.
It's also exciting to think about how AI could really accelerate scientific research and innovation. I mean, imagine teams of AI agents working alongside scientists to analyze data-run simulations, develop new solutions to some of the world's most pressing challenges.
Absolutely. We could see breakthroughs in areas like climate change, disease prevention, space exploration that we thought were decades away.
It's like in The Martian when Matt Damon uses his ingenuity and the limited resources he has to survive on Mars. AI agents could give scientists that extra boost, helping them push the boundaries of what's possible.
It's inspiring, isn't it, that we could use this technology not just for personal gain, but to make things better for all of humanity.
Okay, so we've explored some incredible possibilities, but I think it's important to remember that a lot of this is still hypothetical. We're talking about a very young technology here with a lot of unknowns. What are some of the challenges and limitations we need to keep in mind as we move forward?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is that we're still in the very early stages of developing truly intelligent AI. These AI agents can do some impressive things, but they're still far from achieving human-level intelligence and understanding.
Right, they can follow instructions and do tasks, but they don't have the same capacity for critical thinking, creativity, common sense that we humans do, at least not yet.
Exactly. And that means we need to be realistic about what AI can actually achieve in the near term. It's important not to overhype the technology or expect it to solve all our problems overnight. We need to be patient, thoughtful, strategic in our approach.
And we also need to be mindful of the potential for unintended consequences. As with any powerful technology, there's always a risk that things could go wrong, and we need to be prepared for that and have safeguards in place to mitigate those risks.
Absolutely. It's about finding that balance, between embracing the potential of AI, but also being aware of the potential pitfalls. It's a tightrope walk, and it requires a lot of careful consideration and collaboration.
So as we wrap up part 2 of our deep dive into AI agents, what's the key takeaway for our listeners? What should they be thinking about as they try to make sense of this rapidly changing landscape?
I would say the most important thing to remember is that the future of AI isn't something that's happening to us. It's something we are creating through the choices we make, the questions we ask, and the actions we take.
It's not about passively observing from the sidelines. It's about stepping into the arena and shaping the future we want to see.
Exactly. And that means being informed, being engaged, and being willing to have those sometimes difficult conversations about the ethical implications of this technology, because ultimately the future of AI is in our hands.
Well said. And on that note, we'll be back in part 3 to explore even more mind-blowing possibilities and what this all means for you, our listener. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back to the deep dive. We spent the last 2 parts exploring this world of AI agents, and it's been pretty amazing.
It really has. It's exciting and a little unnerving all at the same time, right?
Yeah, definitely. We've talked about how this tech could change industries, how it could reshape the future of work, and maybe even solve some of the world's biggest problems. But now let's bring it back to you, the listener. What does all of this mean for you, for your life, your work, your future?
I think that's the big question, isn't it? And the answer is probably different for everyone, but there are definitely some key takeaways we can all think about.
Okay, so give us the big picture.
Yeah.
What's the one thing that every listener should be thinking about after this deep dive into the world of AI agents?
Well, I think the most important thing to remember is that the future of AI, it's not some predetermined thing. It's a future we are creating right now through the choices we make, the questions we ask, the things we do.
So it's not about waiting to see what happens.
No, definitely not.
It's about being proactive, being informed, and being part of the conversation.
Exactly. And that starts with really understanding this technology. What can AI agents do? What are their limitations? Where do you see this tech fitting into your own life or your work?
Right? It's like in The Matrix.
Yeah.
We need to choose the red pill and see how deep this rabbit hole goes.
Nice. I like that analogy.
Knowledge is power.
It really is.
Especially when we're talking about something like AI that has the potential to change everything.
And it's not just about the knowledge itself.
Right.
We need to think critically about this. What are the potential benefits and risks? How can we be sure that AI is used ethically and responsibly? What kind of future do we want to build with these tools?
It's like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, exactly.
We're giving AI a lot of power, and we have to think carefully about how that power is used.
I agree, and I think that responsibility, it's not just on the tech companies or the developers, it's on all of us to be informed, to ask questions, and to hold those in power accountable for the choices they make.
So it's not just about learning about AI agents.
No.
It's about being actively involved in shaping how they're developed and how they're used.
Right.
What are some things that people listening can do to be more involved?
Well, one of the most important things is to stay informed, read articles, listen to podcasts, maybe even this one, follow people who are experts in the field. The more you understand about this technology, the better equipped you'll be to deal with this fast-changing landscape.
It's like in those heist movies.
Yeah.
You have to assemble a team of experts.
Yeah.
You got to gather all the intel before you can pull off the job.
Right.
And in this case, the job is shaping the future of AI. And the more you know, the better your plan will be.
I like that. And I think beyond just staying informed, you should also be proactive. Look for opportunities to learn more about AI and experiment with it. There are a lot of online courses, workshops, even free tools that can help you get some hands-on experience.
So don't just watch from the sidelines.
Yeah.
Get in the game.
Exactly. And as you're learning, as you're experimenting, don't be afraid to ask questions, challenge assumptions, and voice your concerns. This is a conversation that everyone should be a part of, not just the tech experts.
And this is really just the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
The field of AI is moving so fast.
Unbelievably fast.
Who knows what breakthroughs are just around the corner?
It's impossible to predict, but it's what makes it so fascinating. The potential is really limitless, but it's up to us to make sure that potential is used to benefit everyone.
Okay, so to wrap up this deep dive into AI agents, let's leave our listeners with a bold prediction. What's the one thing you think will happen in the next 5 years that will fundamentally change how we live and work with AI?
All right, so here's my prediction. Within 5 years, having your own personalized AI agent, it'll be as common as having a smartphone.
Oh.
It'll be your go-to tool for everything from making appointments to managing your finances to learning new skills. It'll be like your constant companion, your advisor, your advocate in this increasingly digital world.
That's a huge prediction.
It is.
And if it comes true, it will change everything.
I think it will.
It's exciting, a little scary, and honestly, I can't wait to see what happens.
Me too. That's the best part, right? We're on the edge of something truly amazing. The future is being written now, and we all have a part to play in it.
Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey into the world of AI agents. It's been eye-opening, and we hope you're leaving feeling informed, inspired, and maybe even a little empowered.
It's been my pleasure sharing these insights, and to everyone listening, stay curious, stay engaged, and keep exploring the possibilities of this incredible technology.
That's it for this deep dive. We'll see you next time when we explore another fascinating topic from the world of technology and innovation. Until then, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.